Wow. What a great football game, and a great opportunity to end our season on a positive note for a guy like this is sitting to my left. This guy's put a lot of sweat equity into this program, and the guy to our right, which is kind of the new beginning, the future of William & Mary football. So it's kind of fitting to be flanked by two good people, two good players, and just kind of see the game kind of play out to where we can. We've been there, done that before. These overtime games, and it was great to see Zach Burdick go up and get one. We've been throwing it to him during the course of the game. He wasn't quite coming down with it, but when it counted at the end, we call him the 50-50 man. You throw it up there, and he's got a chance to go get it. Did a great job. So happy for the players. It's been a long journey for this team, long journey, and been some highs and some really, really lows of the lows with losing one of our players, Nate Evans, and having to go through some things that we as individuals wish that no one ever would have to, but this team did with the support of the administration and the school. It was awesome. So a football game was played today. It was it was a good football game. I thought early on with the 3 turnovers and the muff punt that the things were going to go really, really well, but Richmond played well. I mean, they didn't give up. They did what they needed to do as well. And guys came back out in the second half, and you just saw kind of the resiliency of this team that's been demonstrated all year. So I'm happy. I'm done talking. You talk to these guys.
Bill, was that you on the block?
Yes.
We figured as much. Just sort of talk about it, what you did. You came in the middle, I guess, right?
Yeah. Well, honestly, Graydon should be here talking about it because it's all Graydon. Graydon just bullied the guy, and I kind of got a little crack and just put my hand up and got lucky. But Graydon just bullied him, knocked him back, and I was just able to kind of slip through in that little gap.
Bully is a physical term, and knocking a guy back.
Yeah.
It wasn't, so.
Yeah. So it was all Graydon, really. I was just the person to block it.
It was on a day where you show your tight end skills. Was that a moment you'll always remember?
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, that's the first time I scored. Even if it's 2 points, doesn't matter. It's the first time I've scored, and I'll always remember, especially in the last game. And honestly, it came down. When you think about it, if we would have went for just one, probably wouldn't have been in this situation. So it means a lot.
Hey, Hollis, how about describing your passing day? You had some bad throws, you had some really good throws too. Obviously, that last one couldn't have been any better.
You just got to fight the course. There has to be a so what, now what type attitude. The last play doesn't matter. The next one's what is the most important. So whenever things aren't going the way we need them to in the passing game, that was in the past. So we have to move forward to the next play and make sure the next pass is the best pass. So I'm never really focused on how if I've thrown a bad pass or if I've thrown a good pass, because by the time that I'm able to judge it, plays over and we're on to the next. So we're up-tempo type offense, so we have to have up-tempo type mindset. So anything that goes wrong, we have to be on to the next one, because we're trying to get plays out. We're trying to make plays. You can't make plays thinking about the last play. So
How about having to start that OT drive at the 40?
it was I wasn't too worried. It was a
Really? Okay. All right. Sheesh.
I have a lot of confidence in our O-line and our OC, and I knew that we'd be able to put together a drive. And I was confident in our kicking game. All we needed to do was get those guys a first down, and we'd be able to kick one in. But our offensive coordinator, Coach Marion, was aggressive with it and let me throw it up one more time, and we were able to finally get on the same page and connect. So the 40 was a bump in the road, but so what, now what?
Coach Hollis talks about the OC being aggressive. Was there any thought of taking a shot deep before maybe going for a game-winning field goal on your overtime drive?
We always talk about the matchups, and we were pretty excited about the matchup opportunities. And there were some balls, obviously, that we wish we could have connected on, but we wanted to be aggressive. We wanted to, Bill his opportunity. This guy, you know, he's a modest guy. He was on the kickoff return team. He's on the punt team, field goal block team. He's on a lot of things. And so that's the kind of players we have, selfless guys. You know, this guy could have threw guys under the bus, but he didn't. So, you know, we just we try to take advantage of some of the things we saw on film. And like I said, Richmond did a good job playing defense, but making the calls going back to Burdick. And in the end, him, you know, going up and getting that football was something we believed in. We've done all season. We weren't going to stop, you know, at that point.
Mike, you talked briefly about this season. How about sort of summarizing your first go-around at William & Mary?
Yeah, I've talked before about you got 28 seniors that embraced a new coach and a culture and atmosphere, and then they adopted 16 true freshmen that came in. There was no, well, you're taking my reps. I mean, these guys adopted these players and said, listen, we just want to win. And as I said, we started out pretty tough with having to go through some adversity. And the resiliency of this team, just to watch them develop. A young guy comes in and he grows up during the course of the season and he becomes a man. That's what we do. That's what we're supposed to do as coaches and role models and mentors. The season had, you know, big wins for us, close losses, and I believe it was 62-62 in terms of Richmond and William & Mary, and today I think put it over the top. So it's great to hand the mantle off and to hand the mantle to a young guy that's going to be a good player, you know, for years to come here in the program.
Mike, I guess the play of the game may have been the sack by Jones, I believe it was, and then the fumble that Folwood took in to get you even. Talk about that play if you would. Now, I'm sure that gave the sideline a big shot.
Now, you know, like I said, we played well defensively, except for the end of the half. We missed some tackles, and that wasn't very good, and they had a chance to score there at the very end. But, you know, you got 3 turnovers in the first half, and then they muffed the punt, tackles for a loss, pressures. You know, their quarterback he's good player. We knew he was going to do it with his feet. But the ability to keep tracking after the ball and having ball awareness was critical. We started off the season with a bunch of turnovers, and we went through a lull in the latter part here, particularly today. I mean, it was back to what Coach Brown and defensive coaches teach about hunting the football, and they did a great job today with that.
Guys, I guess you're a freshman, you're a senior. The game probably has different meanings to you in some ways, being your last one and you're coming back. Can you sort of sum up what this win means to you and your class?
For me, at least, every season we've ended against Richmond, and I think it's like I remember the first year I was here, where we lost in the playoffs, right here, and I remember like this isn't gonna happen again. But they got the best of us every time except for one, and then I knew this kind of like this last game is just leave it all out there and just kind of win, because I hated that feeling. I remember watching all the seniors balling, and I did not want that to happen whatsoever. So this means so much, and means so much to all the seniors.
Well, it means a lot to me just as a game. You know, every game I go out is the most important game in the world to me. But the fact that it was a chance to win some hardware and send some of like the best seniors that I've ever been around out with a win and with some hardware is makes this moment a million times better, because we have some of the greatest seniors and some of the greatest older guys that you could ask for, like, you know, in a position like mine, to where you need that support from the older guys, and they've been 100% like bought in, and they've been helping me. They've been, whenever I'm down, they get me up. Whenever I'm too high, they bring me down. It's like, you know, the senior leadership on this team this year was impeccable, and the only way that I could think of repaying them was to send them out with the trophy.